Good morning, everyone!
Hello, and welcome to the middle of the week. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Let us kickstart this day together with some good vibes, awesome energy, and inspiring moments on the show.
I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. I didn't realize we were all so formal today.
I know.
We're all wearing
She's wearing jeans. What are you
blazers.
talking about?
I'm wearing jeans and sneakers.
Well,
but
we're looking more formal than normal.
Yeah. Why?
It's nice lang.
Hello.
Wala, I'm just complimenting us. Can I not compliment us?
Thank you.
Paolo can't take compliments. Okay, noted. That will be our
Si
next.
Paolo may violence siya
I
this
know,
morning, no? May
But it's
violent touch.
complimenting.
No, I just feel there's always an ulterior motive whenever Mo says something.
That's on you. That's a you problem.
That's a me problem. I've been under attack by you so many times.
Wow.
There is a history of cruelty when it comes to Monique.
Meron ba? Just go, I don't know. Am I gonna take sides? I'll just be in the center.
Always. We can
Yeah.
talk about that next time with Coach V. How people can't take compliments. That can be your next.
Whoa.
Oh, you know, speaking of
Our next
Coach V,
topic.
we were talking about dating multiple people yesterday, right? And apparently
May sorry ka?
yesterday, no.
Oh, okay.
But apparently, si Mo, apparently yesterday was National Flirting Day.
Oh, sakto.
Yeah, so sakto siya.
I'm
right?
sorry, I don't know
I
what that
had
is.
no idea. What's flirting?
Sa inyo guys. It's news to them. So let's give news to our viewers that they can actually use this morning. And we start with something that will affect commuters, those who take the train in particular. Rail commuters, brace yourselves for LRT1's fare increase effective April 2nd. The Light Railway Management Corporation says the Transportation Department approved the minimum fare increase from 15 to 20 pesos for single journey tickets. Maximum fare is pegged at 55 pesos. For those with stored value cards, minimum fare will be 16 pesos while maximum fare is 52 pesos.
In the meantime, OFW cash remittances reached a record high in 2024. Over $34 billion were remitted last year, which is higher by 30% compared to 2023. Last December, money transfers reached $3.38 billion, which is the highest monthly total on record. The Bangko Sentral says most of the cash remittances came from the United States, followed by Singapore and Saudi Arabia. How's the weather going to be like today? Paolo gives us today's forecast from Weather HQ. Paolo, take it away.
Thank you, Momo. Let's take a look at the local weather affecting our country today. 4 weather systems are expected to bring scattered rain and thunderstorms all throughout. Let's start off with the extreme northern Luzon, where the northeast monsoon remains influential over the northern Luzon area, resulting in cloudy weather with scattered rain, showers, and isolated thunderstorms. That'll be particularly true in the Cordillera Administrative Region and the rest of the Cagayan Valley. Now, this system may also cause light rainfall over here, the Ilocos region. Now, the shear line is affecting the eastern parts of northern Luzon through central Luzon as well. It will bring cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms, especially in mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino, and in Aurora. Now, residents in these areas should be cautious of possible flash floods and landslides, particularly in the low-lying areas. Now, let's go on over to the southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, where the ITCZ, or the Intertropical Convergence Zone, will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, particularly over in Palawan, in the Zamboanga Peninsula, Basilan, Sulu, and in Tawi-Tawi. Now, meanwhile, the easterlies will result in similar conditions over Sorsogon, Eastern Visayas, Caraga, and Davao Oriental. So everywhere here in the eastern part of the country. Now, residents should be vigilant as flash floods and landslides remain a threat in these areas. Now, let's take a look at Metro Manila and across the rest of the country. The easterlies will continue to bring cloudy weather with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon or in the evening. So that's everywhere that we did not mention a while ago. Now, concerning sea conditions, a gale warning has been issued for the eastern seaboard of northern Luzon, particularly in the eastern coast of Cagayan and Isabela. So these areas right over here. Now, all mariners are urged to avoid going out to sea as wave heights could reach as high as 4.5 meters. Well, that's your weather forecast for today. We'll have more weather HU later on. Back to you, girls.
Thank you so much for that update, Pao. Now, the government plans to issue another diplomatic protest against China. In a statement, the National Maritime Council hit the reckless flight maneuvers of China's PLA Navy chopper as it hovered close to the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources aircraft during its February 18 routine maritime domain awareness flight over Bajo de Masinloc. But the Chinese embassy immediately countered the Philippine government's statement. Beijing's representatives say a Philippine aircraft illegally trespassed into the airspace of China's Huangyan Dao without permission and then spread false narratives.
President Marcos took a jab at the opposition during the administration party's political rally last night in Pasay City. In his speech, he took note of the difference on how they conduct their campaigns as compared to the opposition.
Bigyan niyo po ako at binibilang ko lang yung aming mga kandidato dahil tinitiyak ko na kumpleto at wala pang napasabugan ng granada. Kaya naman wala po kayo maririnig ng mga ganyan. Yan na po ang kaibahan ng alyansa sa lahat ng mga ibang tumatakbo dito sa halalan na ito. Wala po kayong maririnig na masasamang salita. Wala po kayong maririnig na panakot. Wala po kayong maririnig ng pagmumura.
Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel is urging the upper chamber to act immediately on the impeachment trial against Vice President Sara Duterte. In a letter to Senate President Chis Escudero, Pimentel cited the Constitution, which says that senators must begin proceedings as soon as possible. Escudero previously said that the Senate is in no rush to convene the impeachment court. The Senate President adds the trial may commence after President Marcos delivers his fourth State of the Nation address in July.
The Criminal Investigation and Detection Group owns and stands by their decision to file a case against former President Rodrigo Duterte for the quip he made involving the killing of 15 senators. CIDG Chief Nicolas Torre III said this decision is supported by the PNP but not influenced by Malacanang. He also argued while Duterte's remark could be considered a joke, his words could influence his supporters, like what happened during his administration's war on drugs.
Di ba may pangako siya? Anong pangako niya? Sagot niya lahat. Di ba? Ano yun? Joke ulit. Joke ulit. Di ba may sinabi ko siya, pwede ka mag-rep? Sagot ko yan. Ako yung magpapakulong ng sarili ko. O joke ulit yun. It's time already that we hold these people accountable. We hold this person accountable sa kung anong kanya sinasabi. Kasi policy yan eh. Hindi naman yun. It's not a joking matter. O ngayon, nahihitin ka ng mga tao. They are left to fend for themselves. Bahala nang pumatay. I don't care about human rights. I care about human lives. Ay namatay si Kian Del Santos na convict ng mga pulis. Manasan nga ng pangako. Masabugin natin ang Senado. Patayin natin ang si Senador. Paano pa may gumawa niyan? Siya pa rin bahala.
The Makabayan bloc says Vice President Sara Duterte's camp is desperate to put an end to the impeachment proceedings. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro slams what she calls a last-ditch effort by the Vice President to escape scrutiny. Castro says, why is VP Sara avoiding the trial if she has nothing to hide? Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel says the Vice President must face the music if her conscience is really clear. And Gabriela Party List Representative calls VP Sara arrogant. The Makabayan bloc also calls on the Supreme Court to dismiss the Vice President's petition.
Senatorial candidate Ben Tulfo speaks up about a disqualification case filed against him and his brothers. He says he leaves it to Comelec to decide on the case, but he reiterates that he is Filipino and that if he wins, he will look into the issue of political dynasties.
Everybody's entitled to his opinion. Pero ako, pabor ako sa anti-political dynasty. Ngayon, doon sa sinasabing disqualification case sa amin, partikular ako, si Ben Bitag Tulfo, hanggat hindi malinaw yung batas, hanggat hindi lumabas yung sinasabing batas na magmumula sa Kongreso, Senado, maraming nag-attempt na rito. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit hindi ma-implementa. Siguro hindi pumapasa. At this point, Article 2, Section 26 of 1987 Constitution. Sinuri namin yan, the state shall guarantee equal access to all opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. So, para sa akin, hanggat walang malinaw na batas, enabling law, sino mag-i-implement yan?
Moving on to world news, dozens of faithful prayed for Pope Francis' recovery outside a hospital in Rome. The Vatican says the Pope has shown the onset of double pneumonia, further complicating treatment for the 88-year-old pontiff. Double pneumonia is an infection that affects both lungs and can make breathing difficult. Francis has been suffering from a respiratory infection for more than a week and was admitted to the hospital last week. He is especially prone to lung infections because as a young adult, he had part of one lung removed due to inflammation. In the meantime, the Philippines sent almost 7 million pesos worth of canned tuna to war-torn Ukraine. Sunny Ukraine Foundation received the donation and distributed it among soldiers, refugees, and those who lost their homes due to the war. The relief and charity organization thanked Agriculture Secretary Francisco Q. Laurel and all the Filipinos for the humanitarian aid.
Over in sports, Gilas Pilipinas is off to begin its next tour of duty in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. The men's national team is set to face Chinese Taipei for the final window on Thursday, February 20. The country will put its 4-0 record on the line against Chinese Taipei and New Zealand in Group B action. Veteran big man Japet Aguilar will see action for Gilas after he missed the team's campaign in a pocket tournament over in Qatar. The Philippines is already qualified for the Continental Showpiece, which tips off in August in Saudi Arabia. Now mark your calendars, Hoop fans, because WNBA champion Sabrina Ionescu is coming to Manila next month. The New York Liberty star will kickstart her first Asian tour in the Philippines for a sportswear giant. Other tour stops include Guangzhou in China and Hong Kong. Her Manila leg begins on March 10 with a panel discussion and a basketball clinic. Then on March 11, Sabrina is scheduled to join Filipino players in an exhibition game and a three-point shootout at the Smart Araneta Coliseum.
In entertainment news, Jericho Rosales returns to the big screen after 7 years. Rosales and his fans are excited for the new movie Quezon, which will be released this 2025. According to production company TBA Studios, Rosales was chosen due to his on-screen power. Its director, Gerald Darog, is also the same one behind General Luna and Goyo, Ang Batang General, and Quezon was a soldier and a lawyer who became the first president of Commonwealth of the Philippines from 1935 to 1944.
Oh,
I
this
just
is going to
learned
be
that.
good.
I just learned that.
Oh, really?
Like a history lesson. While she
Remember,
was doing
I
the news.
knew about Rizal, and then now I'm learning about Quezon. So
Oh
this
my
show
gosh,
is
where do I
such
begin?
empowerment for Filipino culture for me.
I think it's a great fit for Jericho Rosales. The similarity, can you see the resemblance? It's there.
I
And
don't know
I'm
what
glad
Quezon
it's
looks
him because he is an amazing actor. And he follows the footsteps of, you know, the lineup that Gerald Tarog, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Has directed, right? Because it's John Arcilia, and then there's Paolo Avellino for Goyo, and then now it's Jericho Rosales for Quezon. That is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, and it's a great trilogy that he's making. Obviously, General Luna was the most acclaimed one. It will be interesting because I've seen people compare it to Hamilton. The first act was wartime, which is the first two films, which is Goyo and General Luna, and then this one is peacetime, the reconstruction. not necessarily exactly what happened because Manuel Quezon is a wartime president.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's less action, more political. And there's a lot. I'm interested to see what parts of the Quezon administration would be
In the film.
included in
Yeah.
the film, considering ang dami nangyari. Including the, I don't know kung sasama to, but then the fact that he actually accepted Jews from Germany after they were being prosecuted
Yes, you
over
told
there
me
in
about
Europe.
this.
Maybe,
so that's the
no?
reason why there was a significant Jewish community in the Philippines
Yeah.
prior to World War II.
Yeah, which I'm super
Yeah,
shocked
so
about. I had
there's
no
a
idea
lot.
about that.
There's a lot that he did, and I'm interested to see what makes the film.
No, I want to see the film.
Looking forward to that.
Learning so much. That's all I can say for this banter. But moving on, because Blackpink Lisa has been booked and busy. After the release of her new single, Born Again, and her acting debut in HBO's White Lotus, Lisa reveals a new venture, now in the realm of comic books. The Thai star has launched a 56-page project called Alter Ego, the Official Comic, a companion to her upcoming solo album, Alter Ego. The comics introduces 5 different characters, Roxy, Kiki, Vixie, Sunny, and Speedy, to represent Lisa's personality. Copies can be purchased at lalisacomics.com for 1,200 pesos each.
Now it is official. The prestigious Michelin Guide is in the country. The esteemed Culinary Authority confirms its inspectors are evaluating some of the country's dining destinations, particularly in Metro Manila, Cebu, Pampanga, Tagaytay, and Cavite. The Michelin Guide has recognized the Philippines as a, quote, gastronomic paradise. The first Filipino dining establishments to get a coveted Michelin star will be included in its 2026 edition. The restaurants are set to be announced later this year. This is
so exciting.
I know it's a historical event in the Philippine culinary scene because it's the first time that they are coming to the Philippines, right? And I can just imagine how excited the chefs and the restaurateurs are because they come and announce.
Yeah, better late than never. I
Yeah.
mean, finally. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
the Philippines needs to be recognized
Yeah, I
already.
think it's
Exactly.
a long time coming.
Yeah.
The culinary scene here has been popping for a while. The question is, who you got? I mean, in all
Yeah.
those different provinces,
There's a lot.
there's a lot. I would
Yeah.
also argue, I mean, like they didn't even mention the Bacolod region or Iloilo,
Yeah.
or maybe even more places over in Mindanao. There's just so many great
I mean,
places.
even Boracay, I feel like Boracay has great spots
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
Boracay has spots. Ilocos Norte, Lawag in particular. I have
everywhere.
like one particular in mind in Lawag that I think should be there as well. But then, there are a lot of good options. I don't know. Do you have any bets that you think would make?
I wonder how they're going to make the selection though, because there's a long list of restaurants.
I mean, they're
that
probably
they can
going
visit.
to all the restaurants.
Yeah, they're probably going to all.
Yeah,
It's a
and they're just
prestigious
gonna-
one. Yeah, and I don't think it'll all be fine dining.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because some of
Oh.
the best Michelin stars are not
not
fine
fine
dining.
dining.
Like the
Hawkers
Hawkers
in
in
Singapore,
Singapore.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like,
those are bomb.
yeah, or like if I'm not mistaken, Thailand also has one.
I wonder which
street
tusok
stores as well.
tusok stall will get a Michelin
Yeah.
star.
The best quick in the world.
No, seriously. We need to be
That's
recognized for
true.
that.
Kasi diba in Japan, some of the Michelin star restaurants are just, they sell the street,
Yeah.
they grill it or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So no, I think it'll be interesting because I don't think it'll just be fine dining.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It's not
just
I
gonna be
can't
fine
wait to
dining.
see the
So,
list.
yeah.
And I hope they take us with them to try. We should.
I
How do we
know.
sign up to be judges? I want to do that as my job, my other job apart from
I was
this.
gonna say maybe they should guest on the show, but they should
But
be.
they can't-
They
They're
are
anonymous.
among
Yeah, yeah,
anonymous.
yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
who they are. Baka Pinoy sila
Kaya
hindi
nga
mo kilala
exciting,
eh.
diba, for the restaurant industry. Parang every guest now isipin mo, oh my God, baka yan na yun.
No, actually, I think I'm sure all the restaurants of their games are already up.
Yep.
But then
yeah.
this would make them even more competitive in a good way. So we'll
Yes,
see. I
yes.
mean, I'm also thinking like we've already had people saying like we have some of the best pizza in the world with
True.
in Costa in Makati.
There's
Yes.
another one that's really good in Rockwell.
So I mean, like there are a lot that are world-renowned. Pero tignan natin kung yung restaurant mismo.
So let's see.
Aabot doon. All right, so let's see if their luck is gonna work out. But How's your luck shaping up this Wednesday? Feng Shui Master Hans Kua has the answers. Heto na as he joins us for our horoscope of the day.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. At ito po ang horoscope for the day sa araw ng Miyerkules, February 19. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, huwag laging magmadali sa umaga. Maglaan ng oras para sa sarili. Orange at 8. Sa Ox naman tayo, magkakaroon ka ng inspirasyon mula sa tagumpay ng iyong kasamahan. Gold at 2. Kay Tiger naman, ang simpleng effort ay magdadala ng malaking pagbabago sa relasyon. Silver at 9. Sa Rabbit naman tayo, ang pagiging matipid ngayon ay magbubunga ng kayamanan bukas. Yellow at 6. Punta naman tayo kay Year of the Dragon. Ang tamang diskarte ay magbubukas ng mas maraming pagkakataon. Green at 1 ang swerte. Kay Snake naman tayo, subukan maglakad-lakad tuwing tanghali para sa vitamin D mula sa araw. Red at 4. Sa Horse naman magkaroon ng proper ventilation sa workspace para mas maayos ang breathing. Blue at 5. Kay Ship naman tayo, isang mentor ang tutulong sa iyo upang makamit ang mga layunin mo. Pink at 7. Kay Monkey naman tayo, mag-ingat sa mga taong maaaring magdala ng intriga sa opisina. Purple at 8. Sa Rooster naman tayo, panatilihin ang proper hygiene lalo na kapag nagtatrabaho sa labas. Orange at 2. Sa Dog naman tayo, magiging mas meaningful ang love life mo kung ikaw ay mas magiging open kay partner. Gold at 9. At sa Year of the Pig naman tayo, maglaan ng oras sa pagjo-journal ng iyong thoughts para sa emotional health mo. Silver at 6. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua.
Salamat. That was Master Hans Kua with one of our favorite segments of the day.
That's right. Now, up next, we speak with Health Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo on the dengue outbreak. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The Department of Health has so far registered a 40% increase in dengue cases from January 1 to February 1 this year as compared to the same period last year. To give us an update on the government's campaign against this viral disease, we have in the studio Health Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo. Good morning, Doc Albert. Welcome back.
Good morning, Anne, Monique, and Paolo. Good morning to everyone who's watching and listening to us right now.
Akala ko gagawin mo yung energy ni Master Hans with your...
I was half thinking.
I know. But you know what, Doc Albert, parang staple ka na on the show, no? Parang you're our fourth host, actually.
I know,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I really wanted to do the segue, but I realized that no, I'm not the anchor here.
Yeah. But of course, syempre, we're here, of course, talking about some practical news and therefore news first because obviously dengue cases are on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Quezon City in particular has registered quite a bit. What are the latest numbers first from DOH when it comes to the dengue cases nationwide?
Yeah, I'd like to emphasize something. This is unusual. It's climate change that we're pointing to that's causing this. Kasi umuulan di ba? I mean, at the start of the month, February, we're not used to seeing floods. So the terms like shear line, ITCZ, easterlies, these are weather terms that you don't usually hear, or even if we did hear them before, the volume of water is not that high.
Yes.
So, dahil ang dami nagbabaha, there's a lot of accumulating water, ang daming cases, what we want to assure the public is, it is not something that we should be afraid of, but we should definitely be aware of what's happening.
Okay.
So the number of cases may seem high, but we have to focus also on the number of deaths. Now, each death, of course, does count, but in the scheme of things, we are bringing the number of deaths down.
Yeah.
The case fatality rate, the recent tally as of February 1 is 0.32%. To give you an idea, internationally, the recommendation is to aim for 0.05. That's a very small case fatality rate. But if you're doing 0.4% lower, you're doing okay. We are at 0.32. What does 0.4% mean? It means out of 1,000 people with dengue, only 4 people will die.
Okay.
So in public health, you want to keep that number 0 as much as possible, but in reality, you will always have a death. So how do you do that? One is you test, which is why probably we have a lot of cases. We are testing faster because there is a test for dengue, the NS1 test. When I graduated before, I dated myself, when I graduated before in 2008, the test was not molecular, it was not an antigen test. You had to do what you call the PTK test. You use a blood pressure cuff and then you, you remember, you dated yourself too. But having said that, you will wait for the spots to come out. So that was the old way of doing it. Now you just get a drop of blood, just like your COVID test, and then you get it. So for all of those who are watching, this test is typically free at the health center or at the hospital, which means when we say seek early consultation, if you have very high fever, 40 degrees, get tested for dengue, especially for the kids, kasi sila yung mas madalas tamaan. A lot of our patients are actually 5 years old and below.
Oh, wow. Doc, are there any preventative measures for dengue that we can equip ourselves? Like, I know there's a vaccine, but would you recommend that?
We are waiting for the Food and Drug Administration to advise us on the safety and efficacy. Just last night, I was reading a WHO May 2024 position paper. WHO came out with position papers on the dengue vaccine in 2016, 2018, and then the most recent one is May 2024. And what has the International Health Organization been telling us? The mainstay of dengue control is still what you call vector control. It is the mosquito.
Yes.
Ang kalaban talaga dito is yung lamok. So, because dengue cannot be transmitted, unlike COVID that goes into the air or Mpox that is on the skin, that skin to skin, then that's what happens. So you need to actually make sure that you are not getting bit by a mosquito and that the mosquito is controlled.
You know, Mo and I are concerned kasi syempre the rising cases in Quezon City. We're both from Quezon City, and my daughter's school, they have already implemented some measures, you know, to safeguard the kids especially and the adults as well. Now, aside from Quezon City, meron pa bang ibang areas in the country that are hit by these rising dengue cases?
And as of February 1, we are looking at around 9 areas, including Quezon City. So there are 8 other local government units. The difficulty is, sabi nga namin, the declaration, if any, should come from the local government unit. It is what's provided in the law. That's why we don't identify. But it's not only about declaring, it's also about having to do something about it. So when a declaration happens as part of a declaration of an outbreak, typically like what Quezon City did over the weekend, they will say, this is a situation and this is what we are doing about it. That is the key step that we're looking for. The LGU has to own it, not because it's a fault of the LGU, but because it's something that the LGU is solving.
All right.
We're seeing different ways that LGUs have been trying to approach this problem. Some of them in relatively funny ways, actually. Mandaluyong, if I'm not mistaken, kapag nahuli ka ng isang lamok, may isang piso ka.
Bring me a mosquito.
Yeah, bring me a mosquito. I mean, you take a look at all of these measures that LGUs have been doing. Maybe these are measures that they didn't anticipate that they'd be doing in the first quarter of the year. What are the shining examples in your mind that LGUs have been doing to try and address this issue, particularly in Quezon City, which by all accounts, is a surprise that particular districts, particular barangays have been adversely affected by dengue?
So at the top of mind, we are saying thank you to these LGs for their creativity, and we're pretty sure the intention is to help out. But when you do get creative, you also have to work within the realm of science. So this, for example, this Bring Me Mosquito campaign, well, there's actually a ratio, 1 peso per 5 mosquitoes or 5 wrigglers. 5 kitikite, isang piso. Makes me wonder, paano mo bibilangin? How do you count, diba? I mean, gumagalaw-galaw yung kitikite, lumilipad yung lamok, diba? So, I mean, there are practical questions. And then the more serious question is, when you give an incentive, you have to be careful what you are paying for.
Right.
Because if you're paying for volume, for quantity, then it makes you wonder, could there be a perverse incentive that people might be encouraged to produce more?
Right.
sila.
Yeah,
Exactly.
correct.
Because 1 peso per 5 mosquitoes or 5 larvae, hindi nga kailangan lumilipad eh. Just 5, 5 kitikit eh, di magbibreed ako. So that's something. Now, we understand that there has been a reaction from the LGU and we're not holding them at fault. In fact, we're encouraging them, reach out to us, speak with us, the Department of Health, also their local health officer. Quezon City has a very good epidemiologist, Dr. Rolly Cruz. That's why they were able to declare an outbreak and they're managing it underway. So instead of, for example, instead of bring me mosquito, I said yesterday in another media outfit, bring me basura.
Okay.
So konyo, bring me basura. But why do you say bring me basura? Because you have to clean the surroundings. No, the way to fight dengue is cleanup drives. You don't want old tires, you don't want trash hanging around so that water will not collect. So if you're able to incentivize 1 peso per 5 regulars, then maybe there's an equivalent amount that you can set so that you can, or you can have a contest like palinisan ng mga purok in a barangay. So the purok that is the cleanest at the end of the week or at a certain interval gets to win a prize. Doesn't have to be monetary. It can be like brownie points, diba?
Yeah.
So these there's another version in another barangay, they will release frogs again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yun naman ang concern namin. It's more of an environmental concern. DENR will probably speak more on this, but you don't just release species of a particular animal in an area because you might disrupt the local environment, the local ecology. Diba? We're taught in school yung mga food web, yung mga food
Yes.
cycle. So hindi basta-basta na this animal eats this animal, therefore I will release more of that. You might be actually doing something to the environment.
Yeah.
Right.
Doc, another thing that we have to look at here, you mentioned all these creative ways that people are trying to address dengue. First quarter of the month. Again, this is not typically the season
Yes.
wherein we address dengue. How has this impacted DOH's planning for the dengue season this time around? Because aminin natin, we did not expect to deal with this at the moment.
Oh yes, we were anticipating to talk about condoms, family planning. Why? Because Valentine's Day. And then suddenly there's an outbreak of dengue. So parang lahat kami, even myself personally, I'm a spokesperson. So these communication interventions are planned throughout the year. So I was not expecting to speak about dengue until around June, July. But be that as it may, we have to adjust. We have to be agile. So now that it's out there, the planning is still a reminder to everyone. Actually, you can say, you can see now, it's not part of my script. So we are surprised and we have to tell everyone it's no longer seasonal. You just have to put up with the climate change. I mean, short of advocating for better controls when it comes to at the macro level internationally, you have to look at countries when they talk about climate change. Maybe some islands, also in our country, are talking about flooding. But in our case, it's very specific. We're talking about mosquitoes.
Yes.
The change in weather, the change in climate is actually giving rise to more vector-borne diseases. And hopefully, we will not see there are other effects of climate change that are not just mosquitoes. You're looking at migratory patterns of animals. When I think of animals, I'm thinking of birds. Why am I thinking of birds? I'm thinking of bird flu.
Yeah.
Diba? So far, just to reassure everyone, there are no rises in a number of flu cases, but these are things that now are on the radar. Because
Right.
if we did not expect this, then we might as well prepare for other things.
Yeah, Doc,
Right.
I just want to piggyback on something you said just a while ago. You said that it's no longer seasonal. At least it feels that way.
Yes.
Is it safe to say in general right now that this has to be a year-long campaign or a year-long preventive measure just to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Kasi climate change has really put everything in whack.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. It has to be year-long, and you have to always think about it. Personal experience, again, in context, I'm from a middle-class area, so when I say replace your screen doors, your screens, kasi baka may mga butas na, that might apply to homeowners. But to those who don't have large areas of screen, maybe you should use mosquito nets, kulambo. The bottom line is, we did not used to think of this at around January, February, but now, because of the numbers, so it's a reminder that you have to do something, and also an assurance to everyone that we can do something. A lot of the anxiety, a lot of the panic comes out when you face a new disease and then you feel helpless. You know what? You can actually do something to prevent dengue. You can change your screens, you can use kulambo, you can put lotions and repellents, or and you can also clean. You know, when you see people sweeping streets, cleaning trash, it's also not just for dengue. I can think of another disease that you can prevent, leptospirosis.
Yes.
Because the rats, they actually breed in trash. So if kaya nga, going back to the example, di ba, instead of doing bring me mosquito, bring me basura talaga. Kasi pagka nalinis mo yung paligid, marami kang masosolve ng mga vector-borne diseases.
Yeah, actually.
Doc, I have a question for our viewers, especially the parents who are watching. And I'm a mom myself, and I cannot naman protect my child all the time. And sometimes hindi mo alam kung nakagat ba sila ng mosquito. What are the symptoms to watch out for?
Yes. The common symptoms of dengue are high fever, temperature of 40 degrees centigrade or higher. You also have headache. We call it retroorbital pain. In simple terms, sumasakit yung likod ng mata. You can actually feel it. Kasi di ba with headache, you can feel, is it here? Is it at the back? This one, I've had dengue before and I know how it feels. Talagang it's like at the back of your eyes. Number 2 yun. But the challenge is in children, how do you get them to elicit, di ba?
They can't
Iiyak
naman
na lang yun
explain
So what you do is with kids, you take the temperature using a thermometer, so 40 degrees. Number 2, you will actually see vomiting. That's another common sign when it comes to dengue. So they might be crying and then vomiting. If you see the high fever pa lang, you already should suspect this might be dengue. And then you seek consultation, not necessarily at the hospital, it can be at your nearby clinic. Or if your friends, or if DOH has a hotline 1555, you can call that. Or you can text if you have access to healthcare workers. Ask them, what can we do? Can we get tested? Kasi that's actually the third S in the 4S campaign. Seek early consultation.
Right.
Dengue can be managed. There is no treatment. Hindi tumatalab yung dahon ng papaya, yung tawa-tawa, pito-pito, siling labuyo. Sabi ko nga, bahay kube, what's the next vegetable? Wala pong gamot sa dengue. But the good news is, yung mga sintomas, we can actually mitigate them. There's paracetamol for fever, for pain. Meron tayong mga pain relievers. There's hydration suero para hindi ka ma-dehydrate. Importante is matest ka na maaga para alam ng doktor kung may kailangan gawin for you.
Okay, so Doc, you mentioned there's really no treatment, no best treatment for if you have dengue. But if you have dengue, how long do your symptoms typically last, and how long till you are okay and clear from dengue?
So your symptoms start appearing around 4 to 10 days after you get bit by the mosquito. And then typically it runs for 1 to 2 weeks. Right? But you don't want to manage this at home. Now, there will be some instances where the dengue does not have any symptoms. There is a lot of asymptomatic dengue. That happens. But as I say, if you have the high fever, especially in the younger population, 5 years old and below, please get checked. Kasi we don't want to wait out the 2 weeks at home. Because if you wait out the 2 weeks, you could actually get severe symptoms. It's very unpredictable. Every person has a unique response to dengue because of our immune systems. Some of us will just get mild, maybe fever, 2 to 3 days, and we're done. You won't even think it's dengue. Sabihin nyo, baka nagkatrangkaso lang. Some of others will actually have the PTK, the spots, the rashes. Others will have the severe ones, pagdurugo sa gums, sa change in bowel color. So you don't want that to happen. Kaya we want to make sure that you are tested, you are seen on the radar of doctors so we can watch and observe. And in case we need to step in, we step in.
So pag ganun na yung symptoms, Doc, that's already parang too late?
It's never too late. We will still try to save you, but the probability of you getting saved goes lower and lower as the symptoms become more severe.
Yeah, Doc, we talked about vaccines a while ago. You read the position papers. Obviously, a lot of people are still reeling. Until now, we still have the memory of Dengue when it comes to finding the right vaccine here. When you're looking from a DOH perspective, just how far along are we in the process of actually trying to find the right vaccine for dengue and how to address that. And of course, there's also going to be a lot of numbers coming out in the next few days. You gave us the percentages.
Yep.
The whole numbers will be out soon as well. So your message to the public as well when it comes to that.
Well, to begin with the vaccines, internationally, this position paper is available online. Just search for WHO position paper on dengue. But don't be shocked. It's very technical, so I'll give you the lowdown. In terms of vaccines, internationally, there are only 2 recognized and available. There's a third one underway being developed, but it's not yet out in the market. When I say market, international market.
Yes.
The way our regulations work, the Food and Drug Administration has to make sure that it is safe and effective using its scientists, reading the papers and the data. We're waiting for the FDA to give us a readout on the second vaccine. The first vaccine, Dengvaxia, it was withdrawn by the supplier. I think they have not reapplied again to our FDA. So we have to wait for that if they do plan. And again, given the circumstances of Dengvaxia, it is also a business decision that they have to make. Is it still okay to bring it back in? Let's move to the second one. The second vaccine, I forgot the brand name, but anyway, it's by another company. We're waiting for FDA. There's an application pending, and once that is approved, then we can use it. But again, the mainstay is still vector control, the mosquitoes.
All right. And of course, the numbers again, as I mentioned a while ago, you mentioned 0.32, if I'm not mistaken, or 0.0.
0.32, that's
Yeah,
correct. Case
0.32
fatality rate.
is a fatality rate.
Yes.
But we also mentioned a 40% increase from year on from last year, from
Yes.
January 1 to February 1. Right now, when you take a look at those numbers, again, we just have to put in context because there will be reporting on the number of actual cases that will come out here. When you contextualize those numbers, what's the right way to put it?
Right. So to begin with, don't be surprised if in the next few days we will say that the numbers will be going up because this is an ongoing thing. You have, just like any disease, once you start the treatment has started. You see LGUs already doing fogging, misting. That's okay. By the way, that's also safe. And you're also seeing a lot of cleanup drives. So expect the numbers to maybe rise a bit more in the next few days. It will hold out and then it will start going down once the interventions kick in. So when the latest numbers would be as of February 1, 9 LGUs. There might be a bit more LGUs. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Just be aware of what is happening and protect yourselves and your families. The key here is self-protection, your mosquito repellents, long sleeves, pants. Clean your houses, please, and everything around it. Make sure there's no water that is accumulating.
Wait, so short shorts, di na ako pwede mag-short shorts muna?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, noted though.
My daughter nga, they're all required to wear long socks to school.
Yeah, I heard
to
this.
cover all the
So some of
leg
the schools,
exposure.
and that's a good move, no? For those school administrators, a lot of them are relaxing the uniform rules or they allow PE uniform because why?
Yes,
Kasi
because
jogging
jogging
pants.
pants. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So that's okay. Pero sabi nga nila, what if kulang yung jogging pants? So pinapayagan nila ng any pants. So hindi naman mawawala just for the next few weeks as long as there's an outbreak going on, especially in Quezon City. Then magano muna tayo, practical muna tayo. You don't need to do the uniform thing, sinusukat pa yung ano. Diba? Wag muna.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Yes.
Doc Albert.
Always welcome. Always happy to be here.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate you, Asek.
Ladies and gentlemen, DOH ASEC Albert Domingo.
Now, the packaging industry is exploring innovations that may help reduce waste and ensure sustainability. That discussion with the Science and Technology Department after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. This is It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ as well. Winter storms in the central and eastern U.S. have killed at least 14 people with floods, high winds, and extreme cold. Kentucky's death toll rose to 12, while one fatality was reported in West Virginia and another in Atlanta, Georgia. Many victims in Kentucky drowned in floodwaters. The National Weather Service warned of Arctic air and bitter cold impacting the region. Over 50,000 people remain without power in parts of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Now, more sad news as Canadian investigators began searching for the cause of a Delta Airlines regional jet flipping upon landing at Toronto Pearson Airport on Monday amid windy conditions after a snowstorm. At least 18 of the 80 people on board were injured, with 3, including a child, critically hurt. The aircraft, a CRJ-900, operated by Endeavour Air, had 76 passengers and 4 crew members. One wing was detached in the crash. Toronto Pearson faced high winds and frigid temperatures after a snowstorm dropped over 22 centimeters of snow. The jet landed after an 86-minute flight in gusting crosswinds and blowing snow. Over in Rio de Janeiro hit a record 44 degrees Celsius on Monday, triggering the Heat 4 alert for the first time. This alert is issued when temperatures between 40 and 44 degrees Celsius last for at least 3 days. Officials urge residents to avoid sun exposure and ensure hydration. The extreme heat compared to desert conditions is disrupting daily life and raising concerns about preparations for their upcoming festival. Well, back here at home, the Department of Science and Technology, through the Industrial Technology and Development Institute, or ITDI, is pushing for innovations that help reduce waste and ensure sustainability in the packaging industry. We have with us in the studio research specialist and the head of the Green Packaging Laboratory of the DOST-ITDI, Dr. Angel Basbasan Jr. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning po.
Alright, Doc, let's take a look at anong ibig sabihin ng green packaging. Kasi marami nagka-promote ng mga green products, green efforts. Pero from a DOST perspective, ano po ang green?
Okay. If I may add dun sa sinabi nyo na today we always heard about eco-packaging, of eco-friendly, biodegradable, compostables. Those are under the term sustainable packaging, which is the umbrella term wherein green packaging is underway. So green packaging is a material or process or design that minimize the environmental impact throughout its life cycle. So example here are the fiber base or anything from plants, from animals, or algae or seaweeds that can be converted into packaging materials.
So na-mention mo yung term life cycle. Minsan kasi hindi iniisip ng mga tao yung end of yung life cycle ng isang packaging, isang produkto. Gaano ka-importante yan sa efforts ng DOST in terms of the packaging that they're making na at the end of the life cycle ng mga packaging na ginagawa po ninyo na mas sustainable or at least mas responsible yung pagka-decompose niya or yung handling nito?
Okay, that is very important actually because first, there is a rising issue now about microplastics, right? And there is a recent published article saying that microplastics are already been found in human brain. So with that, microplastics produced dahil sa nature ng mga conventional plastics which are non-biodegradable. So, ang nangyayari kasi ngayon is the path of these packaging materials is linear. Meaning, after usage, diretso na siya dun sa basurahan. So, we can design these packaging materials to be circular. So, instead na going directly to the trash after using, how about we can reuse it? We can recycle it. Or another path is, if they are biodegradable, we can decompose it.
Of course, may mga sample ka dito from the DOST. If I'm not mistaken, materials ang puto. Can you give us a sample kung ano?
These are prototypes only, laboratory scale. And this material, actually, we process it from crustacean waste or crab shells or shrimp shells. There is a compound that we can extract from there and we can process it into a packaging film.
So, mukha siyang plastic. It feels like plastic.
Yes.
Is it as resilient as plastic?
Some of its property is resilient as the common plastics.
Okay.
But then, ang isang downside nung biodegradable plastics, for example, to be specific for this one, this is brittle. And this is cannot be heat sealed.
Cannot be heat sealed.
Yes.
Okay,
Which
so may
is-
limitation rin.
Yes, may limitation siya. That is why we made some innovations for this type of packaging material. We blend it with another biodegradable plastic to make it more clear, flexible, and heat sealable.
So ito, crab-friendly na ba to? Or crustaceans pa rin?
It's already a blend.
A blend.
Of
Okay.
crustacean shells and another type of biodegradable material.
Okay, so this feels like for our viewers out there, it feels like yung mga mga cover ng mga notebook. Oo, yung mga yung plastic na that is always
Same
there.
texture with that.
Same texture, same resilience,
Same
I'm
clarity.
assuming. Oh, same clarity. Doc, you look at how, again, end of life cycle. Normally, when you see a product like this, and okay, we're done using it or medyo gamit na, what happens after you dispose of it?
Okay. Since this type of plastic, they are recyclable. Oh no, they are compostable.
Yes.
So at the end of their life cycle, we can compost them. It's either the house composting facility or industrial composting facility. But this type of material is can be biodegradable in nature. And
Okay.
actually, this is water soluble.
Water soluble siya.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a good thing. And at the same time, a bad thing siya. Kasi
Yeah, kasi-
yun yung limitation niya.
Oo, kung umulan,
Yes.
all right, I understand. When you look at yung cost niya po, is
Okay.
it more expensive? Kasi people say plastic is very cheap. Pero yung cost nito,
Yes. Generally, all alternative packaging or biodegradable plastics are generally more expensive than the conventional plastics. And that is the real challenge on our part as researcher or scientists to lower down the cost of this biodegradable para maging competitive siya sa market. Okay.
in terms of, again, na-mention nga natin na it is a bit more expensive. But at the same time, you're showing us different sheets of plastic or at least alternatives to plastic.
Yes.
When you take a look at yung utility nito, like how far are we to actually producing, because for example, a lot of people like using plastic straws kasi matibay siya. How would it, like what would it take for the DOST to produce material that can actually be as reliable or resilient as a plastic straw? Kasi
Okay.
we all know, for example, yung mga nagpa-paper straws nalulusaw bigla, or
Yes,
the ones that are made from different material that just become softer as well.
Okay. Actually, that is a challenge for us.
Yeah.
To be specific with the plastic straw, right? Many city or municipality binabanda nila yung straw. But yung pinaka-alternative available for now are the paper straw.
Yeah,
Which is
yan talaga.
Yeah, actually, yun yung pinaka-alternative as of now. But these types of materials, we can convert them into straw, drinking straw. But ang problem for that is the price. So that is why, kung nakikita niyo, wala pang plastic or biodegradable or water-soluble na or biodegradable na plastic straw.
What
All
would
of-
it take to reduce the cost?
Process, the availability of the raw materials. For example, I think Philippines is abundant with agro-industrial waste like sugar cane, the rice straw.
Yeah.
We're abundant of that. We can use them to be as raw material to make those to make plastic straw. But then yung tawag natin, kung sino yung gagawa doon, yun yung pinaka-weakest link. So we have the technology, we have the end users, but then ang weakest link there is the sinong gagawa, the
Yes.
manufacturer.
You need more people
Yes,
manufacturing.
yes.
So yan yung simple answer doon. If I'm not mistaken, you have other materials with us here. Tama
Yes.
po ba yan?
Ito po ay pineapple leaf fiber.
Pineapple leaf fiber. Okay.
Yes. We use this as alternative for styrofoam as cushioning material for logistics of food and non-food products.
Okay, sige. Pero with, again, the challenge of this is cost.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at I'm feeling the material right now, and parang nga siyang styro in the sense that I think it will do the job.
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of yung typical cost nito?
It's at least 10% higher.
10% higher
Yeah.
compared to styrofoam.
Yes, yes.
Pero yung effectivity niya,
The same.
exactly the same as
Yes,
styrofoam.
yes.
So right now, a lot of people siguro are not used to the idea of, like, for example, ito, pineapple fiber, when it comes to replacing yung styrofoam nila. And then, of course, the cost to produce it. At the same time, have people been reaching out to yung DOST for access of these technologies to this material? How can people actually reach out to you guys to try and make sure na, okay, wait, I want to become more environmentally sustainable. I want access to these materials or these yung processes. How can the wider public access all of this?
Okay, mostly na nagpupunta dun sa DOST are the end users. For example, the general customers, they want to use more eco-friendly packaging material. And technology-wise, we can do that actually. But then, ang pupunta pa rin tayo dun sa weakest portion ng chain, which is sinong gagawa.
Sinong gagawa.
Kasi we can provide the prototype, actually we can provide this, the laboratory scale, but then the industry should be the one to do the commercial level, the commercial production.
So yan talaga yung lacking.
Yes.
Would you say that there has not been enough interaction between the DOST and yung mga potential manufacturers?
Mayroon din, but most of them are the small-time player. The big manufacturer, mostly kasi is they are doing the common or the conventional plastics or the conventional packaging materials. That's it.
All right. So, sir, again, really exciting na these materials are coming up. Personally, I did not know we can make plastic out of crabs. So,
Yes, we can.
So, for those who like eating crabs, go ahead po. And, pero, Doc, for those who want to reach out or who want to, let's say there's a may manufacturer na nanonood, how can they reach out to the DOST?
They can go to the office of the Department of Science and Technology sa Bicutan, Taguig City, and we can talk how we will collaborate with each other.
And of course, that is Dr. Angel Basbasan Jr. of the DOST-ITDI. Nakita niyo po yung Facebook page nila. But you can also look for him, siya mismo, sa Bigutan.
Yes po.
And then, let's see you make it work.
Feel free to visit our laboratory, Green Packaging Laboratory sa DOST-ITDI po.
Ayun, perfect. Again, thank you very much for joining us at good luck po. Hopefully, we see more of this in the future. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po.
All right, so up ahead, Empower founder and CEO joins us after the break to talk about the viral issue on fake PWD cards. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The issue of fake PWD IDs recently sparked a conversation online after some restaurant owners spoke up about the harm it causes their business. While the issue revealed opportunists, it also opened a discourse on ableism and the need for a better ID system. This morning, we're joined today by JD Castro, founder and CEO of Project Empowerment. Good morning, JD. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, thank you for coming. So, first and foremost, how prevalent is the issue of fake PWDs right now for restaurant owners or businesses? Because we're just hearing about them kind of complaining about it online right now.
Yeah.
So that's why the issue's out and about. But how prevalent has it been?
Well, even before, I think, since the PDAO started in the LGUs, it has been prevalent in the sense of there are many users or there are many people who uses fake IDs.
Yeah.
And it's always prevalent even before. But right now, It's just been because of the restaurant owners got to notice the effect of the economy on their businesses. That's why it's becoming an issue right now.
Yeah, just to put a number on that, in a census conducted back in 2024, late December, if I'm not mistaken, a number of PWDs registered with the Census and Department of Health. The legitimate is 1.8 million, and there are an estimated 8.5 million illegitimate cards
that's a
out
lot.
there. So when you take a look at those numbers and the ease of the fact that it's so easy to fake, to the point that you can purchase it on social media for 500 to 1,000 pesos. Just what needs to be done, in your opinion, especially from the PWD side, the legitimate PWD side, to ensure the legitimacy of these cards?
Well, the only solution I think about it is we have to centralize, standardize, and digitize. That's the only way we can do it. But right now, I think there are movements to digitize and unify the PWD IDs right now. I think NCDA and DSWD is working on it. And my major concern on that is you also have to centralize who's going to handle the data. Because if it's not centralized, it can also be they can also create fake IDs also and data. So I think the key here is centralized, standardized, and digitized.
I know that in QC they are starting to work on that, centralizing the PWD ID system. But JD, can you tell us how does this issue affect, the rights and the privilege of the actual PWDs?
Of course. For me, I am a PWD, and the number one issue here is right now we are being questioned. I got the experience of, so I have experiences also in my personal experience sa restaurant, na-try ko. And they asked me if verified ba talaga ako, if I'm a PWD, 2 times. So before, being a PWD kasi, di ba, supposedly we have the ease of moving, doing business. But right now, we are being questioned because of those fake IDs. And I think the more pressing matter here is that 20% discount it's not just a right, but I think it is given because yung PWDs, they have more to spend on healthcare. So if you are PWD, definitely meron kang healthcare problem. And yung 20% na yun gives you the ample amount to cover pa yung other expenses mo for healthcare, medical concerns. So it's not something na gusto lang namin makatipid. But it's something given to you because kailangan mo mag-spend on your maintenance, your checkups, your rehabilitation. Unlike normal people, they don't need.
What legal action do you think can be taken to those who are producing fake PWD IDs?
Well, right now we have that. If they've been caught of creating fake PWD IDs, it's falsification of public documents, so they can be jailed. It's a criminal case. But for those who use the PWD IDs, yung mga users na fake, there's no criminal case against that, but it can be confiscated. So ako, sometimes when I see one, I try to verify, I ask them, I can confiscate if that's a fake ID. And then I report it on to the National Council on Disability Affairs so they can know na meron talagang mga ganun din.
I've actually seen online, there was an article the other day where they caught a little room, I forgot where in Manila, but they were literally producing fake PWDs for 100 pesos. Like, that's crazy.
They're even selling it on Facebook Marketplace. I saw that.
You look at the fact that, there has been a lot of pushback right now from restaurant owners, from businesses, saying that there should be verification or they feel victimized by fake PWDs. When you hear that type of narrative coming from the business owners, is there a bit of sympathy from your end when it comes to the amount of, of course, it's a big conversation online. But what are your thoughts when you hear these businesses coming up with that?
Well, for me, I think we have to understand both sides. So I understand the sentiments of the PWD sector, but on the other side, we have to understand that the restaurant businesses are having a hard time on that also. So I think the only way that we can do it right now is, I urge everyone, I think I really believe and urge that everyone should always choose to do the right thing. Just don't use it if you are not a PWD, and don't there's choose always the right thing to do.
In a Senate investigation last year in 2024, Senator Rowin Gatchalian conducted an investigation, and according to his staff in 2023, 42.3 billion pesos in discounts were granted to PWDs legitimately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the amount of discounts given to those with fake PWD cardholders was at 166.1 billion. You take a look at those numbers, and does that put into more context of what you feel that the legitimate business owners are actually experiencing right now?
Yeah, it's really a big number. And I think the only way that we can solve that also is, again, to change the system and make sure that the system is really secured and centralized. Yeah. So,
I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts on this because I've been reading, obviously, about it online and reading comments. And we just talked to somebody for the LTFRB for Grab, because right now that's the issue too, because most of the drivers are having to pay a big sum of that PWD discount. And I know businesses too, they're having to front that. So I know a lot of people that have fake PWDs online, their comments are, well, it's the government who are paying, not the businesses. But what are your thoughts on why are businesses fronting that? Should it be the government or should it be the business?
well, it goes both ways. So, for example, some of the business, if you are a PWD, you get tax exemptions or incentives. So they can use that fake PWDs also to get tax incentives. And for the PWD, for the business owners also, if that's a big chunk, that's 20% based on the products or services that they offered. So I think it's really, so one thing that I did also with our organization is I created a system to make sure, to help make sure that the IDs are verified. So this is app that we've created, and I presented it to the Department of Social and Welfare Development. And I think we'll be working on this year also to make sure that the IDs are more secured and verified.
In Iloilo, there's now an executive order, at least from the municipal level, to have any issued PWD cards from Iloilo to have a security sticker. And in Bacolod, if I'm not mistaken, there's also an order wherein there has to be a scanned QR code attached to the PWD card to determine its legitimacy. There are efforts from certain LGUs. Quezon City mentioned a while ago as well. You also mentioned that the ideal would be a centralized system, for a national system. You take a look at that. Do you feel that is literally probably the only real solution, considering that LGUs have been trying to do it on their own, in their own efforts, in their own different methods?
Well, right now, that's what I think of. But in terms of local government, there are some problems also that you can also get PWD IDs from some people inside the local government. I've seen one. I've actually seen one in municipalities. If you pay them, they give you the IDs. They issue you the IDs. So it's not just about fake IDs. It's government issued also. But that's what I'm telling. The only way we can lessen this or completely eradicate the problem is to centralize everything and digitize. You have to lessen the process of manpower.
Should it also be more difficult to get a legitimate PWD, or do you think the accessibility to it is okay the way it is at the moment?
It's okay
if it's legitimate.
If it's legitimate, it's okay the way it is. But I think it should be in coordination with the Department of Health also and NCDA. So right now we have the actual data list from DOH, which is the PRPWD. So that's the actual verified IDs of the PWDs. So I think we can do it interagency. So we can support each other with DOH and NCDA. So we can really create one system.
But for now, while we don't have that centralized, digitalized system, what are your tips and advice for the business owners on how to verify without hurting their feelings? Because I know online, I've been reading about this online because it's such a big issue, right? Because it's very loud right now. A lot of the PWDs are hurt when they ask for their booklets. So what advice would you give on how to go about this sensitive topic?
Well, right now, so I've asked the executive director of the NCDA, and I've asked her kung dapat ba bine-verify din in the first place, and she told me that hindi dapat. So if you have that ID, you have to be given that privilege. So in the first place, you should not be verified, and you should not be asked. Pero if the business owners really want to verify, again, they can check on the DOH, PRPWD, and with the LGU. But again, some of the IDs, like mine, are still not registered under the DOHP or PWD. But right now, I think ang pinakamadali is to check talaga. Usually, if that's a physical disability, you can see naman already. And the challenges are into the psychosocial disabilities because that's you cannot see that.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are the challenges. But right now, I think there's no way of really verifying and without hurting.
Right.
Yeah. But can the establishment deny someone of their privileges if they feel like their ID is suspicious?
Yeah, of course, they can confiscate the ID as well.
Okay.
Yeah. If they prove that the ID is fake, they can also confiscate and report.
All right, so I think that will wrap it up for me. This could be a podcast, to be honest.
know.
Yeah.
This could last so
Of course,
long.
yeah.
There's so many issues to play on. But then, JD, really appreciate you coming over.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And for those who want to reach out to you, or have you as a resource person, or even try to reach out and understand more, how can they find you?
Well, we have a Facebook page. It's called Empower PWD. And we have an Instagram account, Project Empower. That's where they can see our programs, our events also.
Yeah, he is the founder and CEO of Project Empower, JD Castro. Maraming salamat. We hope to have you again soon.
Maraming salamat din po.
All right, so we've got more stories for you after a break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Viber is seeking to go beyond messages and calls. As Sujin Kim reports, the messaging platform can now be used for bill payments, money transfers, and even online dating.
The Philippines, one of Viber's top 5 global markets, is set to experience a massive shift as the messaging platform expands into fintech and e-commerce. ViberPay, the company's peer-to-peer and business payment platform, is set to launch in the second quarter of 2025, with the full deployment expected by the second half of the year, pending final regulatory approvals. Users will soon be able to send and receive money directly through Viber, no bank account required. And this year, international remittances will be added to the system, allowing Filipinos working abroad to transfer funds to their families faster and more seamlessly.
These people are already communicating with their families back to the Philippines, so this will allow them to transfer the funds back into the Philippines from working abroad. We believe this is a very strong offering, and it ties well to our MSME strategy. You discover the small business over Viber, you get a quote, you see the catalog, you pick a service, you get the service, and then you pay on Viber. So that enforces the entire flywheel.
With millions of Filipinos relying on remittances, ViberPay could change the landscape of money transfers, making them faster, more direct, and possibly even cheaper than traditional methods. Beyond sending money, Viber is laying the groundwork for a fully integrated online marketplace where businesses can sell products and process payments all within the app. At first, users will be able to browse and purchase from individual sellers. But Viber's long-term plan, a multi-business shopping cart that lets users buy from different stores.
We envision marketplaces in Viber. We envision a cart that combines different products from different businesses, and then discounts on the cart and everything that comes with full e-commerce or mobile commerce. So we will start with the single catalog, single payments per business. But definitely in the future, you can envision, we already envision the carts and a marketplace in Viber.
For small and medium enterprises, this is a potential game changer, with Viber reporting a nearly 200% growth in small business accounts and a 74% increase in customer engagement. The app is already a major platform for businesses looking to reach customers digitally. But as Viber expands into payments and online shopping, security becomes a major question. While no system is entirely foolproof, Viber's security framework will be crucial in earning users' trust, especially as more financial transactions shift online.
We have entire departments of people working solely on this and monitoring systems. You can imagine an operation that works in 190 countries, onboarding millions of users on a daily basis. So we employ a lot of effort in a lot of countries to make sure that we are safe as possible. No platform is 100% safe. Anybody tells you otherwise, that they are 100% safe, is probably not telling the truth. But we have a lot of skin in the game.
Meanwhile, last Valentine's Day, Viber also expanded into the world of online dating. More than payments and e-commerce, the app is trying its hand at online matchmaking. Soojin Kim, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Filipino coffee shops getting the recognition in the newest World's 100 Best Coffee Shops list. 4 local cafes made the list, released during the Coffee Fest Madrid 2025, held from February 15 to 17. Yardstick Coffee clinched the 18th spot, followed by El Union Coffee at 61st spot, Single Origin at number 83, and Crema and Cream Coffee Roasters at number 86. An Australian coffee roaster called Toby's Estate claimed the first spot, followed by American and Austrian coffee shops. Yay, Filipino pride right
You
there.
know what?
We have
I just
good
want to
coffee.
say I am so proud that I've been to all of those coffee shops,
Yeah.
and one is nearby my house. As a coffee person, I'm so proud. Wala lang. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
No. I'm happy that a lot of Filipino
Yeah.
coffee shops are there. I'm a big fan of Yardstick. There are so many other coffee shops are on the up and up here in the Philippines.
We have a lot.
We have a lot.
And they're amazing. Actually,
Yeah.
that's where all my sweldo goes. Me and the
Coffee,
boyfriend, we
right?
always go to
Yeah.
different coffee shops around the Philippines, and it's amazing. Actually, Coffee and Crema, that's a hidden spot.
Yeah.
It's in the Scout area, and
Yeah.
it's hidden, but it's really good.
And we've actually guested some coffee shops on the show
some younger
before,
one,
right?
Yeah.
up and coming,
Yeah,
younger, not younger.
Younger, yeah. No, I mean, like, Coffee and Crab, I think I've been there like once or twice. Really good as well. I think there are a few more up and coming that should be watched out for. I don't know if I'm at
I don't know
the
if we're allowed to
place.
say it.
No, it's not that we're allowed to say it. I don't know if they are actually up and coming because I'm not in that world. Pero grabe, when you take a look at that list, it's so funny that Toby's Estate is number 1.
Yeah, I was so
Considering-
shocked.
Yeah, considering that it feels like a chain, but then the quality that they have wherever you go
It's
is
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not just the coffee shops. Like, we have really good coffee here in the Philippines.
Yes,
we have
that's
good
true.
Robusta,
That's
our Arabica, we have some, I think, and then
Yeah.
especially our Barako.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Philippines, we're coming up there with coffee.
No, I love whenever I'm in Lipa, I always go to
yeah.
I always go to the Cafe de Lipa there because you can actually buy the beans and then
Yes.
create your own
So
blends.
Yes,
good.
yes.
So that's fantastic, and of course wherever you go,
Yeah.
there's just so much. But then we can talk about coffee forever. But then Derek said stop it, Pao.
Sorry, Direct. Okay, well, we have more good news because welcome to the world, chick number 31. The Philippine Eagle Foundation proudly announced the new addition to their family, a baby eagle named Riley. That was not me. Riley is the offspring of eagles Sinag and Dakila and is the first one to have been documented to hatch naturally and unassisted. As if that's not enough good news, the foundation shares Riley is growing stronger every day and will now be transferred to a bigger nest.
Hooray!
Wait, one more, Paul, one more while you're on cam.
No, I don't know kasi if that's what the eagle sounds. I didn't do that. That was Anne.
Sige, fine. Yan ba yung sound niya, Koko?
I don't
No,
know.
I don't think that's what... Di ba ganon? Ay, crow pala yun.
Ano nga ba? What does an
quiet.
eagle
I'm
sound
like,
like?
voice actor.
What does an eagle sound like? So
Somebody look this up. No, those
Diba?
are like the evil crows nga.
The crows.
That's
They're not
an
evil.
eagle.
How can you call them
No, because
evil?
in movies, that's
Yeah.
that's the sound
Omen,
I
it's like an
associate
omen.
them
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
So hold on, let Paolo Google what
Sige,
the eagle
so
sounds
go,
like.
usap muna kayo.
While you're Googling, because in Japan, there are so many crows.
Yeah.
So I talk to them like, and they actually reply.
Oh.
They back.
Wala,
Sis, wala.
I can't find it.
Hold on, I'm just confused why Anne is talking to crows. Sis, nabukan ka yata.
Wala lang.
Are you okay? Okay ka lang, girl?
It's bird talk.
Okay,
Diba,
I
the bird
found
watchers, they
it.
make those sounds.
Wait, Paolo found it.
Okay, go.
I don't I don't know. But either way.
Alam ko na! Eto na!
Oh my!
That was amazing.
I want to apologize to Riley for butchering your sound. We want to meet you, see you, Riley,
Yeah,
the
I
Philippine
want to
Eagle.
talk to you. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
want
you
to
guys
talk to you. Look at Riley.
I hope
Riley's
you
so
live a
cute.
long life, Riley. Grow and be free.
So cute. I hope Riley does
I'm
come
happy that
stronger.
there's a name because remember we actually talked about the last chick who
Oh,
didn't
this
make
was
it.
one of my best jokes on the show. Si Chick and Chick Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kung
Looking at
lalaki.
all the camera guys, mga Chick Boy.
Yeah. Now, bago umalis yung mga kakaman natin, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us here today on It's a Beautiful Day. That's it for us this Wednesday, February 19. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. We'll see you again tomorrow.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank you for making us your daily morning habit. Remember to find joy in the little things and always spread love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great hump day ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Only here on
It's a beautiful day!